It's January 1st, 2021, and maybe this year will be better than the last. Welcome to the Wrestling Inc. podcast. I'm Glenn Rubenstein, joined by Matt Morgan. Tonight talking about the first SmackDown, the first WWE show of 2021. Matt Morgan, we're living in the future. 2021, did you think you'd ever live to see this year?
No. Honestly, no. And I've been telling people, like, be careful. Let's not... Like, last night I wrote a post on Facebook, like, for a lot of my residents here in Longwood, like, hey, 2020, if 2020 was a year, I'm sorry, if 2020 could serve, crap sandwiches on a silver platter, let's say, right? They just kept them coming, right? And like, even then I was trying to tiptoe back because I don't want to curse us. I don't want to curse us by saying,
I know.
Worse than last year, So it's kind of like, I saw this meme, I think my wife actually posted it. It was talking about, like, let's very quietly tiptoe in the room into 2021 and not make, and please nobody say 2021 is going to be the best year ever.
Yeah.
Because we're so scared,
I don't need the best year ever. I'll settle for as good as
anything
2007,
Anything but that debacle we just went through.
I know. I feel like, that's my fear, is that we're in the 13th month of 2020 here in January, but we'll see.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, no.
We'll see. I'm trying to be optimistic. But I think it's symbolic, right? Because we all know that it's not like today we're breathing different air than we were yesterday.
Right. Sure.
Is literally just a new calendar, a new page has been turned. But for me, and I get a kick out of this, thinking about, Matt, it's now been 21 years since the year 2000 began, which, think about when we were children, how the year 2000 seemed like the space age. We were all going to have jetpacks and go around in our flying cars. And,
I'm very disappointed. I'm very let down that we don't have flying cars.
I know.
Very let down by this.
Now, the Jetsons did get a few things right. We do have video calls now. We do, talk to people in that regard.
This is true.
But,
how funny was that when Spacey would just, his boss, Mr. Spacey, would just totally interrupt him, like sleeping in bed, or like them at the dinner table. Jetson! Yes. Like, he'd been playing with his kids and stuff, just completely big dog him in front of his family on that screen.
Liz Rush, thank you for the super chat. She's saying Happy New Year. She's big fans. Be watching
Liz.
Tomorrow. It's 3 a.m. in Ireland. She wants to wish her husband Jerry at Irish Wrestling Entertainment a huge happy birthday as he's watching too. Thank you very much.
Happy birthday, Jerry.
And Nelson Marino, $4.99. Happy New Year, Glenn, Matt, Raj, Justin, and the rest of Wrestling Inc. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Nelson. Happy New Year, Nelson.
And disgruntled New York Jets fan Justin Lopez, $9.99. Loved E's backstage promo, which was
Me too.
To Brody. I have fans in Rochester, Lee's hometown. Little man does a Nolan's, Lee's wife and son. Oh, I didn't catch that. As strong as the 67 Maple Leafs, which was Brody's favorite team. There were some nice touches tonight, some nice tributes to the late, great Brody Lee.
Yes, definitely.
This was a fun show tonight. I think compared to last week, which had 4 burner matches, right? That just went. This was a little more of a variety show, and with that came some ups and downs.
Right.
But front and center, once again, Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, and Kevin Owens.
Good.
Yeah, what'd you think of this promo that Roman opened with Jey, putting Jey over, but then saying, hey, you're going to do it with Kevin. Kevin comes out, setting up, this main event that we were going to have tonight. Do you think there's a danger of too much sameness in this storyline?
I still think you're looking at this from the angle of Roman's opponent. Maybe I'm wrong. Versus this storyline, to be clear, is specifically about Roman and Jey.
Yeah.
So is it being redundant that Roman keeps big dogging him and making him like wrestle people and setting him up and all this other stuff? Maybe, but we need to get therein lies the heat. When and then the explosion pop that happens when Jey can't stand no more, right? And finally goes off on him.
Yeah, it's interesting still.
Yeah,
he's serving it. Yeah, it's weird. He's babyface, but heel aligned, subservient. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can see like it's sort of they're playing like the slow burn with his emotions on this, and I think it's working.
And we're all rooting, for Jay to put him on his ass one day.
I don't know if
So
they're
I
ever going to
think
get that, but
I don't think we will either. But I think that's part of the intent, and that will be a match one day after Roman goes through all these other people. And I
yeah,
just think Kevin's one of those people at the moment. But Kevin's done a very good job with this. And there was 2 times. God, was it the pay-per-view match? When was it? Just a couple weeks ago. Kevin had some very believable falses that I thought, holy shit, no way can this happen.
Well, even before the handcuffing, they made it look like he could have won last week. But man, Roman, the way he was talking about him tonight, saying, I put you in the main event. I hope you invested that payday. You took care of your wife and your kids for Christmas.
Yeah.
I mean, man, Roman is just burning everyone.
He's good with Kevin, and it's a good thing to get. He's going for the emasculation jugular.
Yeah.
What faster way to emasculate a man, in my opinion, is talking about how they provide for their family or not.
Krana Shaw, $5, saying, quoting Roman, saying, everything I touch turns into greatness. Roman spinning the facts. Always speaking the truth on the mic. P.S. Cobra Kai Season 3, so good. Happy New Year, guys. I know. I watched half of it today. We're going to finish the other half tonight after the podcast because I don't want to be spoiled about this. Raj Giri, not here tonight, but I saw on Twitter he's watching Cobra Kai. So tells you where his priorities are.
This is his company. The hell?
Raj needs to write a business book. I want to take that for 2021.
You and I both are combined Jey Uso to his Roman Reigns. He's what's he doing? He's got his boys at his house right now. They're all cheersing each other, singing for "He's a Jolly Good Fellow." And Rise is like, "Oh, I don't gotta do the show. I've got Matt and Glenn to go do that. I don't do that show. SmackDown? Yeah. I'm not doing that."
Brent Murphy, $5, saying 2021 is already better than 2020 because of Sonya Deville's return. We'll talk about tonight what we saw there. Blink and you missed it. And let's see. Oh, man. So we started with Big E versus Baron Corbin. And I have to admit, Sami Zayn really made this segment on commentary. No offense to Baron Corbin. It's just a little hard to believe he's going over in this feud. But Sami on commentary talking about how he's robbed, the conspiracy theories. Michael Moore's in talks to do a documentary about it. Sami is just so good and sold this so well tonight.
I hope he gets more. I love the time he makes of his time on TV. Don't get me wrong. I just don't see how the company watches him and go how is this guy not in a main event situation? Seriously. He deserves more and more TV time because I'm yet to watch a segment with him that I am not thoroughly entertained by. That's saying a lot because I'm not entertained by, I'd say 80% of this show.
No, he's a great character. He's a great character. And I think that, Matt, to your point, there are guys on TV and women who you say, oh, I'm so happy to see them. I want to see more. Sammy's definitely in that category. There's others like perhaps say Otis or Baron Corbin where it's like, I think I got enough. Maybe we can dial that back a little bit.
Yeah.
Add,
And that's why I wish they had fans. I wish they had fans in the arena because that's the ultimate judge and gauge that tells them, use this guy more.
Corbin is really good when they give him something good to work with. And I think that's the problem is that the Knights of the Lone Wolf ain't it.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Justin Lopez, $4.99 saying it's early, but I think Sami should win Money in the Bank this year. I think that's a perfect gimmick for Sami to have.
I'm cool with that.
No, absolutely. So, of course, due to interference, Sami running into the ring, this became a tag match. Big E and Apollo Crews versus Sami Zayn and King Corbin with the Knights of the Lone Wolf standing by. Now, Big E and Apollo Crews won this match after Apollo taking credit pretty handily for helping Big E win the Intercontinental title. last week, and Big E saying he's going to have an open challenge next week for the Intercontinental Championship, and Apollo already declared himself, already accepted it, so it's been made official. What do you think of the pairing between these two, and then this match that this friendly match that we're going to have next week?
It's something, right? It's something for Apollo.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to say that about so many people. Hey, I'd like to see them use them this way or that way in a bigger spotlight. But this was entertaining. This was good.
They have chemistry, and that's what's important.
True.
There's a lot of guys that, I mean, even the Hurt Business, like, it took them a while to gel.
It did.
New Day was one that had it right off the bat. A lot of the times when we see a team that's been come up in developmental, it's obviously there, but when they do these thrown together ones, I mean, like Cesaro and Sheamus, probably one of the better ones in recent years of the sort of impromptu pairings. So we'll see what they do with it. But, it's like Rude and Ziggler. I got to be honest. I don't think that's chemistry city. I don't feel like they've really meshed that well over time. I think it's actually kind of brought them both down a little bit.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Michael Sachs Jr., $2 saying season 3 of Cobra Kai better than season 2. I will give my thoughts Monday night after I've had a chance to finish
it.
Please.
I haven't had to get a chance to watch it yet, so no spoilers, guys.
Crazy it's on Netflix. I did watch the Saved by the Bell reboot. We binged that the other night on Peacock.
Is it a movie? It's a series?
It's 10 episodes. It's on Peacock, which is free on most cable systems on the app. I have to say, Saved by the Bell reboot was really well done, and I was not a huge fan of the original show, but the reboot is really funny.
Is it like the same stupid stuff that they normally would get into? Like the trouble that Zach gets into?
No, so it's Zach's kid. And then Jesse and Slater work at the school. Zach is the governor of California. And they integrate some new students from a lower income district into Bayside. So there's like a culture clash between them. It was really funny. And again, as I said this, I wasn't a big fan of the original. I think I was just a little too old for the original when it debuted. But I thought this was the perfect mix of retro nostalgia and then current humor, and then also making fun of the original in a way. I thought it was very, very good. We went through the whole thing in 2 nights. Cool. FH saying Sammy's great as a chicken heel, reminds me of Christian's one more match gimmick. The problem is that Vince heels are dominant, for instance, Roman.
He's not wrong with it. That was a spot on comment, 100% accurate, especially his comparison. I will argue, and this is a compliment, Sammy makes me want to punch him in the face more than Christian, and that's saying something, because Christian was an annoying heel. He was a little annoying gnat. You just wanted to smack him, which is his job, right? But I think Sammy's better at it. I really do. And that's quite a compliment. Christian's a Hall of Famer waiting to happen if he hasn't already. Has he been a Hall of Famer yet? Him and Edge?
Edge was just semi-recent. Yeah, right?
Yeah. Christian and Edge's tag team need to be in that Hall of Fame. But Christian by himself does as well. But anyways, Sammy, though, I do think is slightly better as a chicken shit heel. That's how much I think of Sammy, seriously.
Yeah.
Because that's big praise.
Oh, Sammy's great. Kevin Owens backstage talking to Adam Pearce, setting up this match with Jay in the main event. Okay, so this was interesting. We had the Riot Squad, and they made it seem like it was going to be against Billie Kay and a mystery partner. Out came Tamina, out came Natalya. It was Billie Kay, like, as the third wheel to Natalya and Tamina going against the Riot Squad. And then after the Riot Squad won, Billie celebrating with them, like, yeah, we did it, which I thought was actually kind of clever to have her switch allegiances like that.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. She's getting TV time, man. But it's like, I don't know. It's like, would you want your TV time to be that you're the talent that's this thirsty? Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. However, there has to be a purpose because they're putting her on weekly now. Right? Mm-hmm. There has to be something they're going with this that has to be bigger and better for her. I hope.
I don't know, man.
Because what's the payoff? Think about it.
I mean, I was thinking about
transition, and there has to be a transition in this character somewhere.
I would hope so. But if we've seen that WWE does not always have a plan. Sometimes they just like sometimes, and it
True.
could literally be a thing where it makes Vince laugh to see her do
Right.
this gimmick on TV. It is, and we talked about this before. It is a very sort of like old school sitcom, like she's doing a different type of character. But I don't know. I don't know that she's getting over with this.
No, she's not.
Yeah.
But
So the Riot Squad won that match. Then we had Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair versus Bayley and Carmella.
oof.
I thought this was my favorite thing of the show. This was a great match.
This really was. I was excited when I saw this come on the ticker. I was like, God dang. I was telling Larissa, I was like, these are like the best of the best. Carmella's just back from injury, I was telling her. But I was like, she knows the other three. She didn't know Carmella.
Yeah.
And I was like, these are like the best of the best. Like, this is kind of, I'm not going to say a match, but pretty dang close.
Bianca is definitely getting a boost working with Sasha. I feel, though, that Bayley and Sasha shouldn't be in close proximity to each other at all, given the feud they just had. You know,
it's still a little close. It's still a little close to that time, the time period in which they were killing each other. Yes.
Yeah.
You're right. However, I don't know. I still loved watching this.
And I like the ending.
I wasn't mad at that.
No, not at all. And I like the ending, having Carmella the sommelier help get the win with the distractions that he was doing. It was good. This was a really good match. I like that they gave them time. But yeah, we'll see where it goes from here. I think we're still going to get the singles feuds continuing.
We will. And the right person won this.
Yeah. Yeah, Carmella getting that pin.
Absolutely.
This. Absolutely. We saw Sonya Deville walking backstage. Everyone was surprised because she was supposed to, loser leaves WWE match that she lost against Mandy Rose at SummerSlam. That feels like it was last week and somehow a year ago.
Yeah, because I forgot all about that stipulation.
Yeah. I feel like, and this has got to be a 2020 thing. I do feel like we're living in this weird Twilight Zone reality where it's like time has lost all meaning. You could tell me something happened 6 months ago that happened yet, it could have been yesterday. Like I just in one ear, out the other. I wake up, I experience life, I go to sleep, I reset every day. It's very weird. It's very, very strange.
Yeah, no, you're right. It is. And it kind of, the time morphs as well. Meaning, like something feels like it was 5 years ago that happened in 2020, while at the same time, something could feel like it just happened. Like it might feel like it happened yesterday, and you look it up, like, damn, that was 3 weeks ago. You know, it shifts back and forth. It's weird. Very weird.
I got my sleep back on schedule. That's the important thing.
I still have not.
I hate to say it. So we talked about this before. We talked about hydrating before sleep. I'm not going to do the full plug, but I'm still drinking my hydrant. If you want your free sample of hydrant, go to drinkhydrant.com/WINC. Just pay $5 shipping. Hydrant has definitely been helping with that to just keep me from getting up in the middle of the night. But let me tell you, the other thing combined with that has been huge. And I hate, Matt, that the fun police were right about this. When you get ready to go to bed, don't look at your phone. Don't sit in bed. Don't look at your phone in bed. When you go to bed, so I drink my hydrant, brush my teeth, take my meds, lay down. I literally take my phone, plug it in, set it down face down, and now I just lay right there. I go to sleep. And it's been working like a charm.
It does. When it's time for me to put it down is when I go to sleep. That's true.
But I'm telling you, up until a couple weeks ago, I was sitting in bed looking at my phone for like an hour, and I'm like, oh, go to sleep when I'm tired. Yeah. And I swear to God, there's something about this. Again, I hate that people are right about it, that it's that simple.
It really is. When you think about it, all these lights, that are right in front of your face like this. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, of course it's going to keep you up, especially if the room is dark and that's the only, it makes sense. It doesn't mean I want to put it down.
Well, I'll tell you the way to do it to start the cycle is wait until you're really, really tired to go to sleep one night. Like, stay up even later. So if you're going to be on your phone, stay up, stay in a late room. But like when you go to bed, when you're just tired, make sure you do not look at your phone once you're in bed. I'm telling you, I've been doing this the past couple of weeks, and now it's like, it's on point, man. I'm out every night at the same time. I'm up every morning at the same time. I'm feeling better. I'm dialed. It's so nice.
That is good. Sleep is so important. I don't get nearly enough of it. That's a good point, though.
Yeah. Jenna Ness wants to know with the $2 super chat, Matt, what were the 2014 plans besides you coming back in the Royal Rumble?
That's all I know. That's all I knew up to then.
Yeah. And people would have been saying, what's their plan for Matt Morgan? Oh, they must have a plan. Matt's like, they don't have a plan. They just told me to come back.
I'm just here.
Would have been paired with Dolph Ziggler. In a makeshift tag team.
Good question, though.
Yeah. It'd be good to know. Somebody asked, who was even in creative then in 2014?
No, I meant that is actually funny, but no, I meant to the person who wrote that question.
Yes. We got Street Profits making their predictions for 2021. Probably the less said about this, the better.
Please, yes.
But they were interrupted rudely by Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode.
Yes.
And they started beating them up. So they said it was the Street Profits have been provoking them. So yeah, they're trying to get a rematch for the titles. But hey, seriously. But one of these things is not like the other. Otis and Daniel Bryan versus Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura with Chad Gable ringside. Oh, good Lord. And I like it's this Otis thing. I feel like this is such a complicated issue. You know, I want to support my Husky brethren. I wish him well. I want him to do well, but it's like when he and Gable and Daniel Bryan are doing the little hip thing, like the Three Amigos thing at the end. Like,
yeah.
Chad Gable, wasn't he in the Olympics?
I'm not sure. He's a legit amateur wrestler, that high ranked, something like that. But yes, he's very legit. And Daniel Bryan too.
Yeah, 2012 qualified for the 2012 Olympics and competed in the 185-pound division in Greco-Roman wrestling.
Wow.
To then doing hip thrusts next to Otis, part of the Alpha Academy.
Time out. So he really, Homeboy's an Olympic wrestler?
Well, this is on the WWE site, but let's see. Yeah, he was in the 2012 Summer Olympics.
Did he
in
win?
London? Probably not, because they would have
Maybe
said
saying gold medalist, right?
Yeah, I'm sure. Like they wouldn't leave that on the table. Let's see. He was eliminated by he lost to a wrestler from Cuba in one of the later rounds. So, but he competed 2012 Olympics, legit.
It's very, very cool.
Olympic athlete.
Doing stupid shit like this.
They gotta. I mean, it's better than the Shorty G thing. Daniel Bryan was in this. Daniel Bryan and Otis wrestled as a tag team.
I don't even want to talk about it.
And what's Tucker up to from Heavy Machinery? Why did they break these guys up? That was working out about as well as it could.
They overachieved big time. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. And this thing with Mandy Rose, like, that was all fine. Not my favorite angle. There were some moments I liked.
I think, like I said, Vince got sick of playing with that shiny new toy of his, which was Otis at the moment. Now he's, I mean, one could say, well, Matt, he was just in a tag match. You're being, contradictive of yourself because he was just in a tag match with Daniel Bryan, which is true. It's a very big spot to be in. But he's still not, sorry, I'm reaching for something. He's still not at the same level of the company pushing him that he was at. You know what I mean? With that Mandy Rose stuff. Yeah.
I don't know. Is this the best use of Chad Gable and Daniel Bryan, on the other hand? That would be a fantastic tag.
Yes, that would. And that would help him a lot. That would help Gable a ton. Daniel Bryan puts the stamp on you. You know what I mean? That says a lot. So I would like to see that happen.
But here's the weird thing. They think there's more money in Otis than Gable.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
Because they're ridiculous sometimes.
Olympic athlete, Chad Gable. There's less money in him than I'm sure Otis has won an eating contest at some point in his life. And I say that with no shame. I won a pie eating contest as a child. So, we've all had our victories. Yes. But I'm just saying, that's Knott's Berry Farm ain't the Olympics.
No, it is not. But as a fun park.
That's true. And it wasn't who could eat the most pies, the contest I won. It was who could eat a pie the fastest. And I just put my face right in there.
I would hope it's not who can eat the most pies. You guys would die.
I can eat a lot of pie.
Most pies? Pies. Like, they're big.
Yes.
I couldn't get past, like, maybe 2, 3.
Depends on what kind of pie. Now, if it's like blueberry or something, blueberry's kind of light. Now, my favorite pie is pecan pie, but that stuff's heavy. Like, I can't even eat, I can eat 2 slices of pecan pie and I need it.
What about pumpkin pie?
No, pumpkin's overdone, man. Pumpkin and sweet potato, like, I'm done. I don't need those ever again. Apple is kind of my go-to.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, apple is just all apple with a nice scoop of vanilla ice cream on there. Like you can't go wrong with that. Yes. We had the Pepperidge Farm turnovers, the apple turnovers last night for New Year's Eve, and it was lovely. It's a nice little dessert. Anyhow,
a nice little treat to tickle your tummy, Glenn.
Yes, on the new year. I gotta get my eating on track. I said tonight, I was like, we're doing a last hurrah Monday. It starts fresh.
You're exactly what I tell everybody. Do not be a New Year's resolution person.
No, it's not New Year's resolution. It's just, if not now, when? You know what I mean? Like I just need
as long as you do it. As long as you do it. Whatever it takes.
Yes. And there's always like a wake-up call. There's always a turning point. For me, I have my own turning points where I'm like, okay, I really got to rein this in. This has gone too far. This is a problem, you know. Pecan pie filling one year. That was me hitting bottom. It was like I didn't even make the pecan pie. I just had a jar of pecan pie filling. I was like, I'm just eating that out of the jar. And I was like, I need to make some lifestyle changes.
I used to do that. To be fair, I used to do that to my wife's cookies. The night before she'd make them, they were gone because I'd eat the cookie dough. Yeah. 2 a.m. I'd destroy it.
We all have our shame eating secrets. So the main event, here we are already. Kevin Owens versus Jey Uso. Kevin getting a win. Mm-hmm. Good here. But after bringing it.
like this.
Yeah, good match. Bringing it to Jey after. I loved Owens basically calling out Roman, then beating up Jey, and then Roman appearing, and Roman and Jey laying out KO. But that's the thing. It's like, even with KO getting the win, like,
he's still face down at the end.
Yeah, KO's not really getting the better of this.
Right. And to be fair, I've been saying this whole time, like, okay, it ain't about KO, Glenn. It's about Roman and his main event storyline, right? But I think they shot themselves in the foot with this one a little bit. Because if that is the goal, is to continue to build Roman, you're going to build him more by having him beat a more credible opponent. All right? If KO got to leave tonight, I'm not saying he had to put down Roman. I'm not even saying he had to do that. Just go off the show with him beating Jey. That would have been fine. Kevin Owens standing tall. He looks a little bit more legitimate heading into his next battle with Roman, whatever have you, you know. Or he does get to put Roman down. He does bump Roman. He does leave the show with his foot on his chest, you know, big dog in Roman. Now when Roman beats KO, he's beat a more credible talent.
Alonzo Smith saying Roman beats up Kevin every week and KO keeps coming back for more. I admire that.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, but
right.
Also, Alonzo pointing out it's pecan pie, not pecan. Maybe that's a regional thing, you know.
Wait, so pecan? He's saying it's pecan pie. Not
I think isn't that more the southern pronunciation, pecan pie, as opposed to
pecan?
As I would say, pecan. This is like caramel or caramel. You know,
I say Northeast says pecan pie too. At least I did as a kid. But I think it doesn't matter.
I know, but some people take offense. My prediction for 2021, I don't think we're going to see Roman laid out this year. Right. I don't think we're going to see Roman lose between now and SummerSlam, maybe. Like,
okay, then and that's okay. That's okay because, again, when the time does come, and you're saying laid out or lose.
I'm saying like looking weak. Someone might steal a win. There might be like some banana peel action or something, you know?
Well, they need to save that win. Nobody better beat him with no banana peel crap. He needs not to lose at all. And when it does come time, it needs to be because he's putting over somebody that's on the rise. It needs to be, oh God, come on. It could be carrying a cross. It needs to be a the guy they keep burying on Raw. It drives me insane, but he had a big win last week. Come on, God damn it, just from NXT.
Keith Lee.
Thank you. I'm terrible with names, folks. I'm sorry. Keith Lee, someone like him, when the time's right, down the road.
Yeah.
But it's okay for Roman to be put through a table once maybe every few months.
I think, to your point earlier about Jay, I could see Jimmy helping Jay and they steal a win on Roman that way. But I guarantee you the next week it's going to be a 2-on-1 handicap match and Roman's going to destroy both.
He's going to beat their asses.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, Roman's not going to be laid out this year.
I'm just really digging this character the most out of them all, though. I really am. I love his work right now. Seriously.
Yeah. Jim Barcelona saying
Hey,
he feels
Jim.
like WWE keeps doing this so KO eventually gets someone to help even the odds. No, I think what's going to happen is KO is going to get like Sammy or someone like that to help him, and then Roman's going to whoop both their asses. Like,
we can't trust
it doesn't
Sammy.
matter.
Sammy's proven we can't trust Sammy.
I don't know.
Sami Zayn.
Yeah. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I think I could see Sammy and KO teaming up against Roman and then Roman beating them both.
Sammy's a heel.
Yeah, I know. But that would be Kevin's logic. That would be KO's logic, is that you guys are pulling every dirty trick. I'm tired of being Mr. Nice Guy. Like, let's fight fire with fire.
Listen to me. For those two to share the screen again, I'd pay money for it because I love KO, but I love KO with Sammy even more.
Yeah. Jody Shauna Jenkins, Matt, a couple's profile.
Hey, Jody Shauna Jenkins, that share a profile. How are you guys?
$5 Canadian. Matt and I laugh about this because there's got to be a story. Why does a couple have a shared YouTube profile? Not to get off topic, been watching replays of the AEW Tribute Show all week. Matt, how many WWE guys and gals saw that and thought, how do I work for Tony Khan?
Lots. Not that any of them I think are going to try to like, I would. That's not going to make me want to work there. Like, nobody would say that because of the circumstances, obviously, because they just lost their friend, Brody, obviously. That's about the WWE talent specifically. But like I said on this show, this podcast this past Wednesday, Glenn, did you get a chance to see any of this or no?
I saw clips of it. I've not watched the whole thing yet. And honestly, part of it is because emotionally, I just need to prepare myself.
Do it. Please trust me on this one. Prepare yourself emotionally if you can and get around to seeing this. Because, Glenn, this, I've never, and I'm not exaggerating this or blowing smoke up your ass, this is one of the most well-done shows I've ever seen of a theme and what the moral of the show was supposed to be about, and wrestling sometimes being what it used to be. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to make us feel things on shitty days, on the worst day. We're supposed to be able to click on the TV, go into wrestling town, and just get our minds lost in all this wrestling stuff, and then not what's going on in our real lives, right?
Yeah.
They did such a good job of this. I'm not just, again, blowing smoke here and exaggerating. So to answer her question, and the couple's profile question here, it's yes, most certainly. WWE talents, I think, are sitting there going, wow, this was really well done. And they even tweeted it. Like Daniel Bryan, I loved his tweet about it. Good for you for doing that, Daniel Bryan. And others, by giving them props that, quite frankly, they do deserve. Glenn, they dropped all of their plans with freaking their New Year's stuff, the Shaq stuff, which probably would have sucked anyway, but who cares? That's still a very big deal for a new company. And they said, man, we're doing this. And Glenn, they're only a 1-year-old company. Mm-hmm. That's it. And so if this is the foundation of this company, now, 1 year in the game, dude, this is a forward-thinking company. I got to give Tony Khan all the credit in the world, all the props. I would definitely want to work there. WWE is the big game in town. Everybody knows that. They're the New York Yankees. It doesn't get any bigger or better. But the question was, do I think there's talents over there asking that? I'm sure. Most certainly. But more importantly, they were very happy that they did their friend, that Tony Khan and company did their friend the right way with that show. Everybody was blown away by this show.
The clips I've seen have been fantastic.
Outstanding.
I lost it. I mean, scrolling Twitter, seeing Eric Rowan showing up in the sign that he had. I mean, I tend to watch the entire thing from start to finish this weekend.
Even MJF, dude. Even MJF, the biggest dick in the business, right? The biggest heel. Yeah. Even he, like, perfectly gave Brody's kid the perfect spot, the perfect moment, the perfect crescendo to get to it. And that kid in that moment, was, out of his head a little bit about what's going on in his, unfortunate what's really happened in his real life with his own dad, right? Yeah. So, just like, they did this so perfectly.
Yeah, no, just the outpouring of support and love in the wake of Brody Lee's passing. Just I
would kill, honestly, to be remembered, similarly when it's my time. Yeah. Of how his coworkers, and I don't mean by wrestlers, I mean just in general, of my friends and family and whatnot, and those that are important to me, what they would think and what they said, like seriously, that was it was universal, Glenn. It was both WWE and AEW talent saying the same thing about his family is the most important thing in the world to him, and not that anybody ever wants to die, obviously, but I don't know, man. Like that's an amazing thing to be remembered for, and I just thought they could not have done this any better.
No, I agree. Awesome. I mean, and we talked about this the other night. I mean, it's very interesting to think about mortality, and like you said, Matt, it's like we don't think a lot about how we'll be remembered, but I do think that if we can find inspiration or silver lining in these incredibly sad and unfortunate situations, is to remind us that how we treat people and the memories we create while we're here are what will outlive us and hold much greater power than anything else we do on this earth.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right.
Jody following up to say, I've watched wrestling for over 35 years and listening to Tony Khan speak at the end felt real. Yeah. I can't think of one time where Vince felt authentic.
Go back to when he purchased WCW.
I was going to be a little sincere, and I think Vince did a very nice tribute to Pat Patterson, obviously someone who's exceptionally close to, and they gave a very, very extensive amount of tribute with his passing a few weeks ago.
So you don't think that when he said that JEFF is going to be GOONNEE, like you don't think he was being sincere? Like, so I do think there is flashes of him being sincere. And Vince is, to be clear, I'm not going back to wrestling anytime soon. So the reason, again, blow smoke. I love working with him. I love talking to him. And he was always very, very cool. And a lot of people give him a bad rap because he's the evil emperor, right? So that a lot of it's his character too, to be fair. But and we hear these third-party stories about what Vince wants to see on TV, and that's why so-and-so's not getting a push. Yeah. I get frustrated just like the rest of you do with that kind of stuff. But he is. You'll see it when like the Hall of Fame stuff is happening.
Yeah.
Watch him and watch his demeanor then. Vince needs a sign of weakness to sneeze, so he doesn't like let people seeing him cry. That's for damn sure. And if you watch him during his Hall of Fame things, like that's why he won't be on them. That's a big part of it too, by the way. Yeah. But when you see the backstage footage of him hugging them and stuff like that, watch his face. That's all very legit.
Yeah, Vince. I mean, it's a whole other subject, and
he softened up.
Well, I think that Vince represents something much greater than a single man. At a point, he is sort of the Wizard of Oz,
right,
as it were. And a lot of, don't get me wrong, he's, I'm sure, responsible for a lot of bad creative and bad interpersonal decisions. Definitely. But he also has come to represent probably a committee of people making bad decisions that people just attribute to Vince.
Yes.
Yeah. But no, I look forward to watching the complete AEW tribute to Brody this weekend.
To piggyback on her comment, though, yeah, I would love to work for an owner like that. Absolutely. Yeah. That's that. Think about how long Brody's been there. How long was Brody there? 8 months? Wasn't a year, right?
So it was about 9 months. It was March, right when the pandemic was.
So March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Yeah, you're right. 9 months. So think about that for 1 second. 9 months he's known them. And this is important, Glenn, because if that's where he is with the talent of his, that he's only known for 9 months. Like, can you imagine like how he must feel about the rest of those guys that he has there that he's known even longer? And then as years continue to go by, like again, this is a 1 year in its infancy company, a first-time owner. I would love to work there and for him, but what I saw.
And I think it's just interesting because he's creating, I mean, even beyond Brody, and again, A+, amazing what he's doing with Brody and taking care of his family. And tribute, all that. But you have to assume it's got to be a pretty good work environment overall for everyone there. We haven't heard anything bad about working at AEW. He seems, by all accounts, to be an incredible boss.
Yes.
And I think that's commendable given everything we've heard about WWE over the years.
And incredibly forward-thinking. Very forward-thinking. You know, I don't know. Very, very cool.
No, well, and I think it's interesting what it speaks to, Matt. I mean, not to get completely philosophical or even political or classist about this, but it's the idea that, you know, you don't need regulation when people act towards their better angels and treat their employees, or in this case, contractors. They treat the people that work for them with a level of respect and care, and it's about the spirit of the agreement rather than the letter of the agreement. And I think that with WWE, you know, I would not say that Vince is that person who's thinking. That's
a very good point, actually.
You know what I mean?
Not a bad point. Yeah, I do. That's not a bad point at all, because it's night and day difference when you're happy performing your job versus not. It's night and day. I would give up. Let's say somebody's been paying me $100,000 to do a job. Just throw it out in the air. I'm dead serious. I'd rather make $50,000 and be insanely happy every single day of my life versus being paid $100,000 a year and wanting to jump off the edge of a cliff somewhere every day and hating my job and my life.
No, and that's the thing. And I think that if overall, if you had bosses that are looking out for, you know, everyone that works for them, from the janitor to their top executives, then things like unions aren't as necessary because, you know, but that's not the reality we live in. The majority of bosses and people in charge of companies are not thinking, how can I do what's best for my employees first and foremost? They're thinking, well, what's best for the shareholders? What's best for my bottom line?
That's why you generally should always have a representative to have, you know,
You know, it's interesting. I mean, I don't know. For me, it's been, you know, I managed people before, but running my own company the last few years, I try and treat my employees thinking about.
You'd be awesome to work for.
Well, because what I think about is what have I had in bosses that I liked and respected, and then what have I had bosses that I've hated, and I try and think, how can I not be that person, but be the person that I liked and respected and wanted to be in the trenches with, you know? I think that's the key, you know? I mean, but I don't know. I mean, this is a whole separate tangent. DNA of TNA Morgan fan, $5. Hello, guys. Matt was serious in last donation Wednesday. Ringside News in November said Vince has given up on Peyton since has had ideas that come and go. Or since his ideas.
Really? So when he says donation, what does he mean?
He mentioned something in a donation Wednesday, maybe.
I think it's confusing a donation with Super Chat. Although it is a donation to Raj Guri.
Raj's favorite charity.
To be fair, I think Raj did give this to the family of Brody Lee or something like that.
I heard that was
Wednesday.
The plan.
Something like that. I don't know.
And Raj, to be fair, like when we've said to Raj, like, hey, we want to do a charity night, he's been very good.
He does it. He does it. But real quick, so that person who made that comment said that last week, and I wasn't sure what the hell he was talking about. So Glenn, that's supposedly the rumor on the street, as it were. As he just said, though, seriously, he says like that's a legit thing that Peyton Royce he's already soured on her.
It's possible. I mean, the man is whimsical.
I hope they put him back together then. Fine.
I know.
Put them back together as a tag team. You'll bolster your women's tag team division even deeper, which I think is already pretty good. Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. I think he's got more for Billy than Peyton right now, which is crazy.
She deserves it, but not in this way.
They were really good together. Even that send-off they did with Raw Underground, and them getting their butts kicked. Like I said, it reminded me of kind of like Laverne and Shirley, but it was a good way. Like I think, but I enjoyed that. I thought it was charming to see them like comedically. There was something different, and I think there was potential there. I think they could bring that back and do something with it.
Definitely.
So on that note, hey everyone, it's New Year's Day. It's 11 o'clock on the East Coast. We got Cobra Kai season 3.
Yes.
Start and finish tonight. I expect a full report from everyone on Monday.
Yes.
So until then, he's at BP Matt Morgan. I'm at Glenn Rubenstein. Happy New Year, everyone. We'll see you back here to talk about the first Raw of 2021 next time on the Wrestling Inc. podcast.